right after 9/11, in 2001, this was around the Jazz Museum time.
Sure.
My old station in New York, KISS FM, had fallen on hard times. And even though many years had gone by, from 88 to 91, I called up the president of the radio division and said, Rick, how'd you mess up my radio station? Of course, I used another Anglo-Saxon expletive. But, he laughed. He says, well, we did, Mr. Mayo. I said, can I help? And I started consulting my old station. This is for Emmis, New York.
Okay.
And the head of those three stations, the market manager, left about 9 months later, and I got drafted.
You got drafted.
So I was out. They pulled me back in.
Okay.
So for the next 3 years, I ran Emmis's 3 radio stations in New York. Okay. And after having enough Hot 97 and gunshots and hip-hop, and I stepped off from that and consulted them for another year. And that's when Alfred called me and said, would you consult us?
All right. Before you move away from the hip-hop thing, though, Russell Simmons is usually thought of when you say who helped really bring hip-hop.
Yes.
You had a hand in some of that as well in regards to the hip-hop scene.
I remember Russell bringing his brother Joey's record to me.
Sure.
It's called It's Like That, because that's the way it is.
Yeah, that was
Run
my
DMC.
joint too, man.
That's right. And we played that in New York. We were the first station that played hip-hop full-time. Actually, my competition and my idol at the time, Frankie Crocker,
sure.
at WBLS, had a show on the weekends with this guy named Mr. Magic. Mm-hmm. And he actually was first, but we incorporated it into our regular programming full-time.
Gotcha.
So we helped. You know, I take no credit for breaking hip-hop, obviously. You know.
All right, now you move to Radio 1. They have catapulted from one station to, how many do they have now?
They've gotten up to about 72. They have 53 stations now and in 15 markets.
And really the powerhouse for the African-American community, reaching the African-American community on that level, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
You had this study in 2000, was it 8?
Yes.
All right, that you did with one of the Next One companies,
Absolutely.
Pepper Miller, correct?
Pepper Miller. She helped us name, it was a black segmentation study, the largest one that had ever been done with Yankelovich.
Yeah.
And you know, it was briefly. If you YouTube me, there was a segment on CNN where they interviewed me talking about the study. It showed that there were 11 distinct segments for black folks, and it just disproved the notion that we were a monolithic group, and it was heavy. And some of those segments were named by Pepper Miller. She's a bad sister right here. But by the way, I know you're doing an interview here, but if I just might say this, I am blown away about the power. I could feel it. I felt it out there. The power in this room is outrageous. It really is. And I am so humbled. And for those of you who know me, I'm not a humble guy. But I can't believe I'm the one, because there's about 15 people in this room, probably more, who could be doing this right here. So I'm humbled that you would ask me to do this. I'm still trying to figure that out. You understand what I'm saying?
All right, so Radio 1, you are responsible for radio, and from what all the research I can find, the numbers are down.
Yes.
As an entrepreneur with this big, ship to try to turn quickly, what are you guys doing? What are you thinking about to try to make sure it succeeds, it does well?
Well, there's a couple of things that's going on that were happening at the time I came to the company, okay? First of all, we were going into this nasty, nasty recession. And everybody, all forms of advertiser-supported media were down last year and the year before that. With radio, it was a kind of a double whammy because there were secular changes in the business. The challenges primarily from the internet and attrition to radio listening, people going to the internet. So we had a double whammy. And then, you know, my thing, and I'll talk about it in a couple of minutes, my thing is really management, is how to get the best performance out of people. I mean, that's the thing that personally turns me on. Making money is nice, but seeing people grow and seeing people, you know, rise up like this and getting the most out of people is what really turns me on. And I want to talk about that in a couple of minutes. So I came at a weird time where there's secular changes in the business. Thank God Alfred had the foresight to diversify and start TV One, which is the growth engine for the company right now. They're growing by double digits, which is why our stock is doing as well. It's one of the top 3 radio stocks right now, even in a down year.
Diversification.
Because diversification, Interactive One, so that really helped, and that's critical, I would say, to the degree that you cannot put all your eggs in one basket. I would recommend you Next One clients to think about that at the proper time, if and when you can. So I've been trying to change the culture of Radio One, how they sell, how they think about customers, how they deal with their people. And that's like, changing the culture of an organization is not something that you can do overnight. So that's really kind of where I'm coming from.